Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. I am focusing on the ephemeras from the December 2021 kits. I think all the ephemera and die cut pieces are just always so gorgeous. I always love them. I found that with other collections, with the bigger manufacturers, lately all of their ephemera is huge and I really struggle to use it, which is why I love Hip Kits so much, because there's lots of small pieces in, it's all very usable, and it's just easy. It just makes making layouts easy, doesn't it? We had a design team prompt today to add 3 photos in a creative way. Now, I wasn't feeling particularly creative on the day that I made this layout, as in not creative. I always feel creative, but sometimes to do something interactive requires a bit more headspace, and that day I just wasn't able to do that. So instead of my usual lining them in a horizontal position, I have created or turned them into a photo strip. I don't very often scrapbook with a vertical photo strip. It's very rare that I do that. So this is quite out of my comfort zone, and you can see that I really struggle to get the photos looking right on this layout. So I did do the creative prompt today, but possibly because it wasn't I think it was intended to be interactive, but I also don't really like interactive things in my albums that I would have to remove my layout from the page protector in order to work the mechanism. I love interactive things in mini books because they're not behind page protectors, and therefore they're accessible, but when it comes to my 12 by 12 layouts, they're going to go into page protectors, so I prefer to make sure that my layouts aren't too interactive in that way, because people will not take them out of the page protectors in order to do that. So I'd have to have interactive things that were able to do through the page protector, if that makes sense, or from the top. Anyway, also when I was making this layout, I was away on holiday, so I didn't have all of the things with me that I would normally have in order to make something interactive. So I literally had my kit and that was it. So like no brads, no threads. Well, I did have some threads, no twines, no ribbons or trims. So and it was a little bit difficult. So anyway, I was happy with the way that I tackled this one, because it did definitely get me out of my comfort zone, and I do like the results. So it's sometimes good to do something that's out of your comfort zone, isn't it? Okay, so you can see that I have torn a large area of pattern paper for the right hand side of my layout, and I've got another smaller section at the top as well. So it gives me a couple of different looks on the layout. I've got my photo strip in the middle. It's going through, it's going over the torn piece, and I've tried it at different angles, and then eventually I kind of settled on it being straight. It looked better straight. I felt like I should have had 2 of them. That may have been easier to work with, but I've only got the one, so I had to go with it. So yeah, it ended up being fairly straight, and I was quite happy with how that looked in the end. So now I'm working with the ephemeras, all the little beautiful die cuts, and I wanted to kind of create a diagonal effect on the layout. So I have the pink snowflake. I'm really focusing on the snowflakes, to be honest, because these photos were of my little boy. He'd actually pulled all of the stuffing out of a cushion. Not ideal, but it was a cushion that isn't very good, and it has a big opening on the back. It's not broken, it's just the way that it's tied together. So it's very easily accessed. He can easily access the stuffing inside, and it could very easily be put back in as well. So it wasn't a problem. But he literally got the stuffing out of the cushion, and it was all over the lounge. It was literally everywhere. And he says to me when I go to him, "Look, Mummy, snow!" So I thought that was ideal for this layout. So yeah, it had to be scrapbook, didn't it? So yeah, I am that's why I was focusing on snowflakes. So I've got all the pinky snowflakes on the left, and then at the top right, I've got all of the blue tone snowflakes. There was a lot of snowflakes in this kit. There's also some flowers and some stars and leaves and things, all in the same vein. So that worked really well. I love that fox, the ephemera fox. He's so cute, and he has a little blue jacket on and bobble hat. Totally adorable. So that went on as well. For the title, I've used the 2 fonts that came in the December kits. So I've got Snow Much Fun with the word much highlighted in the bigger font. And I like the way that it looks over the pattern paper, actually. Normally I wouldn't put titles onto pattern paper, but this paper is very soft, and the font is dark, so it shows up really well. I was really happy with how that looks. Yeah, I'm just kind of fiddling around now, figuring out what else to put on the layout. Sometimes less is more. Quite often I end up putting too much on a layout. So I have to train myself to stop sometimes. So I'm just adding a few more bits, and then I am pretty much going to leave it there, just because I think I'm in danger of ruining it if I add too much. And it can get a little bit, things can get a bit over cluttered. I think we're so lucky with HipKit that we have so many items to use, and I just want to use them all. I love everything. That's my biggest problem. So I just have to be a bit more restrained. So I've put in the puffy sticker leaves, same pinks down on the bottom left and blues top right. I've got a little sign that says love being at home. That's over the photos, and that's really pretty. That was actually covering up a mistake. There was a problem with the printing on the photo. It wasn't quite right, so actually that worked out really well, covering up that little mistake there. I don't know if I can't remember what it was now, but it was either the photo was damaged or there was something in the background, so that worked really well to cover that up. So I'm able to write directly onto the pattern paper for my journaling as well. Again, that's a really great thing, because normally you wouldn't be able to write onto pattern paper because the pattern would mean that your writing didn't show up too much. So this is actually really nice to be able to write onto the pattern paper as well. And I've put the date on the journaling spot on the left. And then I'm just going to finish off with some splashes of white paint. So I really like this look. I love how it looks over the ephemera. It's particularly relevant in a snowy, icy collection like this as well. So there we go. That is that layout complete. I really hope that you like the layout. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward, didn't take too long to do. A bit out of my comfort zone with the photo strip, but yeah, and I hope you really love those ephemeras as much as I do. So don't forget that if you are a HipKit Club subscriber, you get the main kit at a reduced price, 15% discount off all add-on kits, and access to exclusive subscriber cut files. So lots of reason to subscribe. Thank you so very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for HipKit using the December kits.